Hey everybody, welcome to a sneak peek preview video for the upcoming Game Toppers Kickstarter. Now I did a Kickstarter preview video for the original Game Topper Kickstarter project a couple years ago. I'll put a link to it in the description where I kind of go about the assembly and everything like that and kind of show it off to you. I'm going to show you some of the new stuff in this video, as well as a sneak peek at one of the new game mats that they have, and kind of talk a little bit about my use of it. I've had to use this thing for nonstop over the last few years, and an interesting tidbit of this one, this is one of the original kind of older ones. So some of the accessories you're going to see here are older, but they sent me some of the newer ones which are compatible with even the older tables. So if you have one of the original Game Toppers and you want to get in on this new Kickstarter for either some of the game mats or some of the accessories and stuff, you can show here that they are all compatible with the new stuff. And some of the components I think are actually quite a bit improved as well. So let's jump in. I'll kind of show you some nooks and crannies here, show you different couple of game mats, some of the accessories and so on. So forgive the camera panning here. I wanted to show you what I've got here. Now mine is the Watson size, which is about the 3 foot by 5 foot size. And you can see I've set up kind of a little miniature game here on this table. It's got the green Battlefield mat. So they do have mats that act as like a great kind of backdrop for, a game of Warhammer or Frostgrave or anything like that. So I've got that room here. And then on the side, you can see some of the accessories hanging off to the side there. I've got a few of them stacked up here, which I'll show you. There's even like a little cup holders for my little Coke Zero, and then chip counters and all kinds of other things. There's a lot of different accessories you can get. And so of course, if you're not familiar, if you didn't watch my other video, these are something you can take apart and store away. And I've recently moved, which was a cool thing for moving this thing, because underneath this is just a folding table and it's very easy light. I moved it all by myself. It's not one of these big, heavy gamer tables that you need, 6 people to pick up or whatever. Super light, but very, very sturdy and everything. Now this one has a kind of a wood inlay there with kind of this aluminum, very strong aluminum siding on that. But yeah, and then it kind of ties in down here. You can see kind of the little knobs there. You just unscrew these, take it apart, splits in half, and then it's kind of a wood finish under here, which I think has changed with some of the new ones, and then you just lay these mats on top. So first, let's just look at some of the mats here. This is obviously the green one. I cleared everything off of it. There's one I'm really excited to show you. But first, I think this one is an older one. This is a snow battlefield type of mat. I'm not 100% sure that this one's going to be around, but this is the kind of thing that they're going to have. There's going to be a ton of mats on the Kickstarter that you can choose from. But this next one, the camera 100% is not going to do it justice. Now this is designed and illustrated, I should say, by Vincent Dutrait, who's one of the foremost board game artists in the world. And if we take a look here, I want to try to zoom in a little bit here. Let's see if I can get it. Now you see that faint yellow line. It's very hard to get this on the camera. But what that is see if I can get there. You can kind of see it's a little dragon basically designed there. There's a kind of a good shot there. Now it looks way better in person than it even looks here. But I just want to kind of zoom around a little bit here. Here's kind of some more of the illustrations on this side there. Very detailed. Look at that. Looks great. And then over on this side, oh, look at this character. This is kind of an archer character over here with some other archers kind of in the background there. So this is a cool, this is one of the new mats coming out with a new Kickstarter, and they've got a lot of other new ones coming out. This is a nice one because there's a good amount of detail, but then it has this kind of really smart way of doing kind of the open space. So when you're playing the game, it doesn't clutter everything up, but it has this really cool kind of faded drawing here of this dragon kind of in the background, because of this esoteric smoky kind of thing. Really, really neat mat there. So let's take a look and jump and look at some of the different accessories. Now on the side here, you can see an older kind of version of the cup holder. I like this one. It works just fine. The new ones that they have function basically just the same, if I can be careful with that there. So you can put anything in there, but they also come with these little things. So you can have these kind of hold tokens and dice and so on. So that's a pretty useful thing. The new ones they're a little bit more plastic. They're probably a little more sleeker of a look there. This kind of has like a wood grain type of thing going on, but that's cool. So the way these work, you can just latch them in there like that, and they go in there and they're really super sturdy. If I put that drink in there, like that's not going anywhere. I'm kind of pushing on it hard, and I can slide it like this, no problem. And here's an example of a newer one here. So this is kind of like a chip tray. So if you're playing cards or poker or just any kind of tokens you might want to just throw in there, you can have those right in there like that. And this is pretty sturdy like that. Now the next thing I'm going to show you here is kind of a multi-piece thing, and I'm not sure how you can actually purchase it, but it's probably my favorite kind of accessory piece here. So you've got this thing here, and this has these legs that come in like this. So you put these in the bottom. It's got these little holes there like that. And you can see one side is curved and one side is straight. So the curved side is going to go here on the outside. So you just put it in like that and snap it down. And then here you've got a tray here for different dice. You can put the dice in like this. You can put little tokens in and that kind of stuff there. Now the next thing that you can put on here is this little dice tray. So we take and put that under here like that. Just line that up with the other little legs, if I can do that, like so, like that. And so now you've got a dice tray like that. So you can just roll your dice like so. And then if I can show you there's the dice inside there. Now the final piece here is you can throw on this little tower here. And if I do it like so, like this, see if we can get that at a better angle. From here, you can put those dice in there, and that just comes right off as well, so you can see the dice from that angle. So this is all kind of snaps together, so you can kind of have it as you wish. So if you want the dice tower, you can add that on. You can have the tray, or you can just have the token bits, and it sits here on top of the tray here, the side. So you don't have it kind of coming out and interfering with anything here. So you could have maybe like this kind of action here. So maybe you have some hidden components here and some visible components up there. So it's a couple of ways that you can kind of approach your game. And one thing to note is, I think I talked about this in the other videos, you have this sort of this ridge here, so you can actually put cards right in there if you want. So if you get a big hand of cards, or maybe playing with kids that, you know, they can't hold on to a big hand of cards, they can just kind of put them right in here as well. Now the last accessory piece I want to show you is kind of an upgraded cup holder. This is the dual cup holder thing. I've also got the old version of this. This one is definitely much better. So you have the kind of the two sort of compartments there for soda or whatever, and you can actually put this over as a clear cover there and just put components on top there, or the components in these little trays there. I will say this thing is really sturdy. I actually set my 17-inch laptop on here the other day when I was recording the podcast, and just to kind of keep it out of the way of the table and sort of out of the clutter, and it held it no problem. So this can, you know, I'm pushing on it kind of good here. This can hold a decent amount of weight. I mean, you could easily put like a copy of Blood Rage on top of there and it would hold it just fine. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. So these are very, very sturdy. So everything about this is really good, high quality stuff. It's definitely a lot cheaper than a lot of the, you know, game tables that you will buy that weigh 2,000 pounds or whatever. And like I said, it's easy to pack away. It was super easy in the move, which I think is something maybe people don't think about, is like, oh, I buy this big game table and now I'm going to move. And now you've got to move it and you need movers to help you or whatever. I don't know. The other thing nice about packing this away is if you have company over, you want to roll out of bed, that kind of thing, or if you get one of their smaller tables, then you know, you can pop this in the kitchen or in the living room, pack it away when game night's over. And so you have this cool quality game table with all this stuff, and then you make a good, pleasurable gaming experience, but it has none of the drawbacks of just being this big sort of obtrusive thing that kind of is just in the way of everything else.